Well, hey, y'all. Have you ever had one of those times when you're running late? Everything else is sort of falling in place and you're running late. Well, that was today. I'm running late. And thanks to Ken, PTL, I'm here because I was in another world and it was, oh, well, anyway, there is Ken and here is,
Hey,
and we are here. Max, it looks like your mic is muted. Is that, oh, there you go. There you go.
can you
Yeah,
hear me today?
I'm up now. So,
Okay. Hey, I'm sorry. Thank you, Ken,
Yeah.
for hollering at me because
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yep.
Last week I didn't have a picture because I had the new computer has a slide and
Okay.
I didn't know about it. It must have been closed.
Oh, oh, okay.
Get a little thing up
Well,
here.
yeah, whoop, you're gone now. Oh, there you're back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got that kind of slide. It's one of those
Yeah.
privacy things.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand that. My daughter would actually take tape over her camera because she didn't want somebody peeping in on her. So, well,
I was
wow.
starting to think you weren't coming in.
I was starting to think I wasn't either. I was, yeah, it was.
I thought I had done something wrong. I thought I had the wrong time or something.
No, it was all me. It's just me. I was
Okay.
looking on some other things, and today just sort of got away from me. And it shouldn't have. Say that.
Yeah.
You're real busy. Yeah, hey, rerun. Good to see you. Good to have Sandy's here, and got DJ here. Hey, DJ. Yeah, we're starting to pick up. Man, I'm so sorry. I was just, yeah, messed up, but that's okay. I'm here now. I'm glad you guys are.
I got stuff falling down on me.
Well, I almost exited out. I thought I got the date wrong or something.
I'm glad you're here, Max. I'm sorry. I do apologize to everybody.
No big
Yeah,
deal.
well, I don't like it.
Hey,
I like to have everything in
you were only
place.
20. You were only 20 minutes late. That's okay.
That's okay. What's 20 minutes? Hey. Oh man. Well, I'm going to go out tonight at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning while you guys are sleeping. I'll be out trying to do a video of the Milky Way.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Good for you. I'll be dreaming about you.
Yeah. You'll be dreaming through those stars. I'll be,
Yeah.
how's everybody doing? How are you feeling, Max?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. So far, so good. No issues. So
Good.
hope it stays that way.
Yeah, let's keep it that way. That's a good looking shirt.
Eh,
I like it.
actually, it's two sizes too big. Look at that. I
You got
are.
room to grow. You
Well,
got room to grow.
I ordered a large, and it came in extra large. I should have just sent it back, but I've had it a year now. I'm gonna keep it.
Oh man. Oh man.
You can't tell while you're sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Looks
but you
good.
can.
Well, that way, Max, you can take your trekking poles. You can make it into a tent. It's
Yeah,
got dual
good,
purpose.
good.
Well, Ken, you're getting ready to go do a section hike, aren't you?
Yeah. And that's why I got my pants hanging up behind me. I had them out in the garage hanging up. I sprayed them all, everything with permethrin today.
Ah, okay.
So it's all, it was hanging out there for long enough, but I brought it inside, and I'll leave it hanging here in the family room for a little while and probably pack it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, here's my gloves.
Okay.
My gloves and socks and Gingy socks. They're all sitting here drying out a little more. Recently sprayed.
Where are y'all going to go? What section are you going to do?
We're going to do the Triple Crown in Virginia.
Ah, nice.
Start in the south and do Dragon's Tooth, McAfee, and then Tinker Cliffs.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
nice.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I know Rerun's got to be ecstatic, so that'll be good. He's mentioned it a couple of times. I'll be out there.
Yeah, the only thing I got going this week is I got a gear review coming up on Thursday, so.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So
I thought we were going to have Noah show up with a boat a couple of days ago. We had a ton of rain. Sandy was asking if I'd seen the flooded ballpark over on the east side of town. I haven't. I saw the Verdigris River, and it's crazy flooded right now. We got, Sandy, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we got like 3.5 inches in about 12 hours of rain.
Woo.
We needed the rain. I just wish we could sort of spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least you didn't get those tornadoes that Oklahoma got.
Well, we did. we got one that hit a little town west of us. It leveled.
So you did.
And then we got 3 more. 2 went to the north and 1 went to the south of us here. We had several running around here.
That must have just come all the way up.
Tornado cellar?
What's that?
Do you have a tornado cellar?
We probably do somewhere, but not here. We have a closet.
Yeah.
We sat in the closet for a couple of hours. Sandy, they hit the basement 3 times. We hit our closet 3 times. The sirens went off. Connie went in there. I admit I stuck my head out the door because I wanted to see it. And there was one cloud. It didn't hit the ground, but it was swirling, and it was, had the tail coming down, and it was a pretty good one. I think that one actually turned into one and went south, and then there were 2 more that was reported north of us, just north of us. So yeah, it was a crazy night, but we didn't have the damage that that Oklahoma and some of the other places did. But yeah, it was something. I'm gonna close my door.
How you feeling,
So
Dan? I was concerned about you coming in late. I thought maybe all your episodes, maybe something happened, but thankfully not.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Ken.
Thank you, guys. I'm doing. Sorry, just had to close my door. I'm doing a lot better.
Oh, good.
So yeah, thank you.
It was just. I assume you won't be able to go on your hike coming up, or are you still going?
I'm still going.
Oh, okay.
Going to. Let's see. Yeah, going out. We're going to be around Damascus, I think, is where they're wanting to meet. They want to be there for trail days, and I'm coming home. I have no desire to go to trail days. That's just that's not one of my things. But I'll do that. And then next month I'm going to Colorado, in June I'm going to Colorado and hiking out there for a little bit. So.
We are actually going to finish up a little bit before trail days, and I'm so close. I'm tempted to go south, but after a week of hiking and all the activities, I think I'm going to be ready to head home myself. I don't care about. I would like to go to see people.
Yeah.
But then it's adding a few hours both directions before I head home. You know, I have an 8.5 hour drive coming home.
Oh,
But I am
yeah.
thinking there's a couple I'm following that I want to do trail magic for. Holly, that I supported last year, gave me their name. Actually, I think I met one of them on one of her calls, and so that her and her husband are going this year. So I'm following them. They're really not posting a lot. I'm picking up a little bit on Facebook, but I send her a text to ask where they're at, and they may be near me where I'm going to be hiking when I finish. And if they're close enough, you know, within an hour, I'm going to pick up some food and go support them. Maybe I'll bring the grill and make them some sausage, egg, and cheese for breakfast or something.
Oh, okay. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Yeah. I just got a little video from Don. He's, on the PCT. He was looking tired, man. He was looking tired, but he pushed on. It's good for him. Yep. Sandy.
Yeah, very
the little
good.
town that I was talking about that's west of us that got hit by the tornado. It destroyed one house there. And Sandy says sister-in-law has a video of that one near her house in Fredonia. Fredonia is just a little town, I don't know, 15 miles, 20 miles maybe west of us. And I went over there and met a friend on Saturday morning before this big storm here. And he had a picture of that one. So, yeah, it's Kansas. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
We get tornadoes.
Yeah. You can keep those. My God.
You don't get the snow that you get back. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. You can keep the tornadoes. I don't want anything to do with those.
No.
We get them around here, but they usually don't stay on the ground real long.
We get a bad rap here. We don't get that many. There's a few. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I guess Oklahoma's been getting it for the last couple of years. Getting it pretty good down there. So
I can tell you a story. My daughter went to college when she did her undergraduate. She went to little college just north of Oklahoma City in a town called Edmond, Oklahoma.
yeah.
And where were we? We were stationed in the Pentagon, but Connie had driven down to Oklahoma to get Heidi, and I think they were on break or something. Yeah, it was Heidi's spring break. So Connie went to get her, and they came up to her grandparents that lived here near where I live now in southeast Kansas. And there was a tornado warning. So a tornado was sighted on the ground. There was a tornado warning. And so Connie and them, they're driving out. And Heidi is on her knees looking out the back window, wanting to see if she sees. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Wanted to see if she sees the tornadoes. I guess it was exciting. Yeah. So she then they stop for gas, and Connie calls me because back in those days we didn't have these. So she called me from a payphone, and the service attendant there at the service station told her that the tornado had been spotted just about a mile behind them, coming this way. And so Connie's on the phone with me. I said, well, you guys get out of there. Go. Well, okay. So she drove on. She was at a little strip mall there, but just near Tulsa, Oklahoma. Little strip mall. And they drove on up, and they spent the week with the grandparents. And then Connie's taking her back to school. And as they drove back, that strip mall was gone.
Oh boy.
There wasn't debris. I mean, it was clean. It was a concrete slab. That tornado took the whole thing. It was gone. So
Good thing she got out of there.
well, yeah.
Jeez.
She would have been like Dorothy, chasing
Yeah.
the witch of the West or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dorothy fared pretty well. I don't know if somebody gets caught up on now would do as well. Whew.
Yeah.
We were out in Texas a few years back. We dropped my daughter. Actually, my daughter had a conference in Kansas, so we dropped my daughter off. But Sue and I, no, this was when she was doing a internship in Texas, and we went out to Big Bend. So on the way from dropping her off in San Antonio and heading toward Big Bend, storms, and there were tornado warnings. And at one point, the hail was just pounding our car. I literally yelled out, "Lord save us." I mean, I yelled it in the car, "Lord save us." And we made it to our hotel. My car is back then was old and beat up, but the car next to me in the parking lot, the guy comes out, he goes, "My car is all banged up." You could see all the dinks in his cars from the hail coming down.
Yeah.
My car was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
scary.
Well,
Oh.
we've had a few of those storms out here, so
And usually
Yeah.
when the hail hits, that's preceding the tornado.
Oh my. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure Kevin knows about that with hiking with Jackie Boy. He that's sort of his wheelhouse down there. It's it's crazy stuff. I think it was Sedan, another little town south of here, that they just had it rough. I mean, they had such a drought last year. Sedan and Caney both had such a drought that, I mean, they were rationing water. It was just tough. And then a couple of months ago, they got hit with a hailstorm, but they showed it in the newspaper. They had pictures of the hailstones, literally, like that. It knocked out windows out of houses. It knocked out windows out of cars. It was bad. It was bad.
those aren't hailstones; those are hail rocks.
Yeah, boulders.
God.
I remember when I was on the Appalachian
That'd
Trail, I
kill you.
was hiking from where was it? I'm going brain dead. Clingman's Dome. That day I left out from Clingman's Dome and it was raining. It was nasty. And I got to Newfound Gap, and there was Trail Magic at Newfound Gap, and they had a tent. So I snuck in there and I ate a hamburger and was trying to get some food. And then I went into the bathrooms because Newfound Gap has, it's a nice place. It's a touristy place. So it has some nice bathrooms and they have heat. So I'm in there drying out and trying to warm up. PTL notes, so you try to warm up in there. And I spent an hour or so. And finally I said, okay, I got to go. So I took out again. It's still raining, about 40, 42 degrees, just nasty.
That's nasty.
It just is. So you're hiking through there, and Ice Water Shelter was the next shelter because it was appropriately named Ice Water Gap.
Yeah.
And I was probably a half mile from the shelter, and the temperature just dropped. It dropped like 8 degrees. It dropped down to right at 32, and the rain turned to hail.
Oh boy.
And it was about marble size hail. It wasn't huge, but it was enough to hurt. When it hit you, it hurt.
You didn't have an umbrella back then, did you?
No, I didn't have it. I just had
Oh,
me.
that would have been nice.
Yeah, I started trying to run, but you don't want to die either.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to run down that muddy trail, and I get to the shelter, and again, Smoky Mountain Shelter is designed for 12 people, 6 in the bottom, 6 in the second bunk, and there were 35 people in that shelter.
Wow.
And they had a fire going because the Smoky Mountain shelters had fireplaces. So they had a fire going. And there was this one young couple. His trail name was Rehab. I don't think his wife had a trail name. I think her name was Sarah. I think. But when I ran into the shelter, they had a fire going, and she was sort of the mama of the shelter. And she was rotating people around the fire so that, you had enough time, you need to go, let somebody else warm up. And I come in the shelter and she shouts out, Monk's here. You guys get out of the way. He's wet. He's cold. Get out of the way. Let him in here. So I dried out, and then I ran outside, set up my tent because I wasn't going to stay in there. Set up my tent, and I forgot my raincoat. It was still in the shelter. So the next morning, I wake up, I'm packing my stuff. It's not raining. I'm packing my stuff, and my raincoat's gone. I'm thinking, oh, man, I need my raincoat. So I go up there. It's like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I go up there. It's dark, and I've got my little red light, and I'm trying to keep it covered and not bother anybody because you're stepping over people because they're back to back sleeping, literally setting up back to back. And she says, Mom, what are you looking for? She's awake. I said, I think I left my raincoat in here. She said, yeah, you did. I put it up by the fire so that it would dry out. Here it is. And she hands it to me. It's just good people.
Yeah. That's neat.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I would have been the guy yelling, be quiet, go to sleep.
I want to introduce somebody. We got somebody making a comment. It's Mike from Minsk, and he's joining us. Mike's got a YouTube channel. He plays this really interesting instrument, and he and I have been sending notes all day today. He subscribed to my channel. We're just been sending notes back and forth all day today, learning more about him. He's been asking about the mountains here because in Moscow they don't have anything like what we have here. So, but we're not nearly as big as Russia either. Russia's a huge country. So
yes, it is.
So, Mike, hi. Thank you for joining us. It's good to have you with us. The other interesting thing about Mike is he's blind. And so as he's asking about the trail, I'm trying to describe to him the best I can. And I know that I don't do a good job of it. So I would like to wish I was being able to describe it for him. Oh, he's living in Belarus right now. So, okay. So, very good. All right. See, I told you about my plans for tonight. And Max, you got a gear review. You said next week. Or this week?
Yeah,
or next
this week, Thursday.
Okay. All right. I won't ask you what it is. I'm just looking forward to watching it and seeing it. So.
You can ask what it is. It doesn't matter. It's a binocular case.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am.
But I don't use it for a binocular case.
Okay.
You'll see.
Yeah. Now you got me.
if you bother to take 7 minutes out of your day to watch it.
I'll be there. That'll be fascinating. And then,
oh yeah.
I've been watching Ken's. I don't know if you've seen Ken's latest, but he and Sue, his wife, they went down to Florida.
Yep.
And he created some
I've been
pets
watching them.
and alligators and stuff. So
Yeah, we saw a lot of gators, a lot of crocodiles too.
yeah.
The American saltwater crocodile down in the Gulf. It was awesome.
Yeah.
We got.
I don't,
if you
I don't care for lizards that can eat me.
They'll love you forever.
I'll let you do that one, Dan. Whew. Oh, we had a great trip. It was awesome. A little bit of kayaking, some hiking. We rented bikes and did the bike ride, which got us close to the alligators. went on an airboat ride.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
and then
airboat looked
Yeah.
awesome.
that was
Yeah.
Sue's sister lives in Fort Myers, so we visited them. They took us on to a couple parks, and then went up into the Panhandle. Did some beach walks, so that was nice. And actually, on the way home, we caught the very end of the Appalachian Trail. What is it called? The start of the trail. I forget what they call the opening down at Amicalola Falls, but we went to Amicalola Falls and got a picture of the falls, and then stopped at a national battlefield from there coming home. It was a great trip.
That's great. That's great. See, I think Shasta Valley beat us all. He said that he filmed a moth, so he's got it, man.
Yeah, I saw his short on that moth. Very colorful
Okay. Well, I took a picture of a buzzard.
one. Well, you got pictures of eagles too.
Yes. Yes. 22 short of 1K. DJ, we got to get you there, man. Absolutely. This I don't know if you saw the Facebook post I put in there that even buzzards are beautiful when they're flying. It gives me hope. So,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, as long as they're flying. If they're landing on you,
Well, yeah,
you probably smell bad.
and walking far too slow. Yep. Oh,
Yeah, I've had a couple of them circle me. That makes you a little nervous.
So Dan, you mentioned the somebody following who is blind. While we were on one of the walks down in Florida, there was a sign with a saying by Helen Keller, and it says, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." I like that.
Yeah. Helen Keller, I grew up where she grew up. So Helen Keller was sort of a hero, for us in that area. And so Mike, that's a great quote. And yeah, it's been fun to write back and forth to Mike and talk with him. He said that he wasn't familiar with the geography of the United States, and I'm certainly not familiar with the geography of Russia. I mean, it's so huge. I know where Moscow is, sort of, kinda, and know where St. Petersburg is, sort of, kinda, but they really don't know that much about it. So yeah, and that's what I do. I love about this opportunity with YouTube. It makes this world really small.
Yeah.
David from Scotland, and you got Des in the UK, and Stephen tramping the hills. I don't know if you've ever watched Anna and Alf.
Yep.
Yeah, from Scotland, from Wales, and
Wales,
Anna
yep.
always does these Welsh lessons, so she's always teaching Welsh words. She says them, but my Alabama tongue, I could never repeat what she says.
You got a Cat from Belgium.
Yep. That's right. Yep, Cat. I'll see her next month.
Yep.
She's coming over for that trip in May. I'm going to hike with her again.
Yep.
Yeah, Mike, Helen Keller, she was a young girl where I grew up in Alabama, and she went blind from fever, and she was also, she couldn't speak. So she had to learn to talk, learn to write. Her tutor sort of mentored her through her adult years. And Mike says that A Tramp in the Hill is one of his favorites, and Stephen is. He's hilarious. He's just so funny. So, but yeah, we sort of.
You know, it's been fun, Dan. I mentioned Kat. I follow Sue B, Young Nana, and Young Nana.
Yeah.
She does that Alliance Challenge monthly, and they pick some crazy spots to go camp. I mean, it's just go camp in a spot. One of them for Sue was at an airport. She basically drove into an airport parking lot right near the, got in there, and she waits to the last minute, covers the windows, and sleeps in her car. But she got Kat doing it, and Kat just did a neat one. I think it was urban camping, and she picked a playground and camped. I don't know, it was some thing set up a fish or a whale or something, but it was basically a big sandbox, and she tied off her hand.
Kids' playground is what it was.
Yeah, she camped. The playground, but she got interrupted. Some kids were partying nearby, and she almost gave up. Oh, some of the crazy things they did.
That was pretty gutsy.
That's too much for me. My biggest thing is, when I'm hiking, like when I did the Cherokee Trail, if I couldn't find a campsite, a tent site where it was historic on the trail, then I would look for one of these little country cemeteries, and I would camp out in the cemetery because it was great.
That's unique.
Well, the ground's usually flat.
Yep.
It's quiet. They don't really bother you. Your neighbors don't bother you too much. So it's pretty nice. Nobody's looking for
somebody is a little restless, maybe.
Oh, yeah. They might wake you up. Usually not.
Well, I'm seeing the advantage of hammocking on their posts. Sue just did one, same thing, urban camping. She picked a spot behind. No, I think you were supposed to camp by a grocery store, and so she picked a spot. It was wooded, but it was up behind the grocery store near her house, and she basically found a path going up behind it. The spot she picked, there was like a big trench dug there. There was a bucket in it. She's like, "Oh, this is making me nervous." She still does it. She sets up her hammock. She walks down to the grocery store, buys herself something to eat, goes back up, and puts her hammock between two trees and camps for the night. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. No.
Not the only urban camping I do is in my backyard. That's it.
It's kind of a neat idea. I don't know that I would like urban camping, but there's all kinds of challenges, and it basically forces you out in camp.
Yeah. I just I'm not that brave.
Not me either.
Yeah.
I saw a video where a guy camped in a traffic circle, in the center of the traffic circle. There was a few bushes in the center of the traffic circle, and that's where he set up and spent the night. That's crazy.
Okay. Well, where's the craziest place that you have ever slept?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think I slept any place that's crazy. At least not that I thought was crazy. No.
Yeah. What's the most challenging place?
Slept in a car along the highway once. That's not a big deal. I think everybody's done that at some point.
How about on a 95-foot patrol boat? I don't know that I really slept, but I tried. A 95-foot patrol boat in 30 to 35-foot seas. That was
Hey, you maritime guys.
You'd be airborne sometimes.
That wasn't fun.
No. Are those beds on those things? Are they like hammocks, or are they just flat rack?
The one I was on, we had racks. You know, we had 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the back, 2, 4 in the front, and then the skipper, maybe the second guy in command had their own. Does that make sense? 7, 11, 12, 13. I thought it slept 14. There must have been another one somewhere, but they were anchored with mats on them. I always picked in the back. There were 2 on the side and 3 in the middle when you walk in the back berthing area. And I always picked the top one because there was an inch between you and the ceiling. And so the guys in the front bunk, when we were out at sea and it was rough, when you were on duty, they would go in the back and sleep in your bunk. Nobody liked that top bunk because it was so tight. So I always took that top one. It didn't bother me being so close to the ceiling, and nobody else ever slept in it.
Yeah.
When we were in the rough seas, the guys in the front always came in the back to sleep in your bunk because it was too rough up front.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I guess. Jesus.
And in those seas, you had to strap in.
Yeah.
Talking to Navy guys when I was stationed at the Pentagon, and I had one friend. He had been the skipper of a fueling ship, so he would pull up alongside other ships to fuel them. And he talked about, in 30-foot, 40-foot seas, pulling up alongside somebody to fuel them was a little bit of a little challenge.
Yeah.
I could imagine so.
But
I don't know. I admire you guys.
that might be a challenge for a big ship, a 300-400 foot ship. We're in a little wobbly 95-foot patrol boat that was top heavy already. That was brutal.
Yeah.
We've done rescues where when you roll, the main deck is at the edge of the sea level. It felt like you go over every time you rocked. It was wild. Man. That boat was tough.
That's amazing.
Actually, on this one patrol we went on, every say 3 or 4 days, we'd be by ourselves bouncing through the water, boom, boom, boom. But every 3 or 4 days, we'd meet up with a big ship, a 400-foot cutter, and they would drop ropes back and then send the water lines and the fuel lines, and we'd top off from them. First time we did it, half of their crew came back to the deck to watch because they're just, they're going nice and smooth through the water. And here we are, boom, 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 behind. They're holding their life, trying to get their ropes. And it was pretty wild.
Yeah, that's wild.
I imagine so.
I got to spend a weekend on the big ship. They rotated a couple of us for a couple of days just to try it out.
To give you some relief.
What's that?
To give you some relief.
Yeah, I needed it for certain
slept
reasons.
better.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
My dad, I think I've said, my dad was Navy during World War II. And I was the youngest of 6 boys. And all of us had gone in. And he was waiting on me. And I came home. I remember coming home and saying, Dad, I was 17. So I'm going to enlist. And he said, okay, so what are you going into? I said, I'm going to enlist in the Air Force. Because I started out in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And he was so mad at me. He said, I thought of everybody, at least you would go in the Navy. I've been holding out, thinking that you would go in the Navy. I said, Dad, I don't swim that good. No, I'm not going in the Navy. But he really wanted it. And at first, he wasn't going to sign for me because I was 17, but then he changed his mind.
Yeah.
So I started out Air Force, spent 3 years, got my first 2 years of college under my belt during that 3 years. And then the Army said that they would send me to Officer Candidate School with 2 years of college, and I had to finish on my own. So I switched, went through Officer Candidate School, and then I went in the Army as an officer. And they told me I raised the average IQ of both services with one move. I quit dragging down the Air Force. Didn't take that much, my 2-digit IQ, it raised the average IQ in the Army. Oh, that was the way it was back in those days. It was when we had what they called the hollow force, and we were hurting. We were hurting for people.
Yeah.
They,
Well, I enlisted, Dan. I got my college degree, and rather than go to the officer school, I enlisted, and it was the best thing I ever did. I'm not a salty dog, but I wouldn't trade that cutter experience I had. You know, it was in Hawaii, so that you couldn't beat
well, that's
that.
not bad too.
But I wouldn't trade any of those experiences for anything. Best
Yeah.
days of my life, and
Yeah.
I wasn't a salty dog then. I got seasick plenty of times. I'm even worse today. So the old Coast Guard guy, when my wife and daughter go with me and go on vacation, they go out on a boat. I keep my feet on shore.
Uh,
I would. I would.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yep. Yep. We had those experiences. Max, you were SWAT, weren't you?
yeah, police SWAT. Yeah.
Yeah. So Max has got some different types of interesting.
Yeah. Well, it was fun when I was young, but I wouldn't want to do it now. I wouldn't want to be a cop now, not these days.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Not anymore. No, I'm glad none of my kids went into law enforcement because it has changed so much.
It has. They're
Well, it's just like all the services now too. They're all hurting for people.
well, we are. And we go through these. You know, we go through these cycles. I know in my career, because I was in for over 30 years, so I watched it. I watched it go. When I came in, we were at a low tide. We were at a low ebb, and morale stunk. It was at the end of Vietnam. I came in '74, so Vietnam was nobody else was going over to Vietnam. It was at the low ebb, and then we started getting better. We improved, and then we went down, and then we went back up and improved. It's a seesaw. It's sort of like Ken. It's sort of like your little boat, you know, in rough seas. And that's the way it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ is right at that 1K mark, and I'm looking forward when he hits it because he's going to start going live then, and I want to watch him there. But and then Shasta's talking about these encampments. I don't know where you live, Shasta. Well, Shasta Valley. That should be it, right? That should say it, but it's 20 to 30 people in these encampments behind grocery stores.
Yeah.
It's a strange time we live in.
Yeah.
That's why I like to go out and hike. That's where I found a lot of healing on the trail.
Yeah.
For all those little cuts and bruises and top of California. Yeah, it's tough. But hey, Chuck just got home from the camper, jumping into the shower, and he's got to stop and say howdy. Well, I'm glad you did.
All right, Chuck.
Yeah, I think Chuck and Shasta are on your channel there, Max, I believe. So that's good. I'm glad we can do that, Ken. We can, with StreamYard, you can hook up your channel so that folks can come in and follow you, and then you get the time for it.
Oh, I meant to ask you about that because I don't do that. So what is it I have to do?
Max, what do you have to do?
You see your little logo at the top of the page on the right-hand side. You see your logo there?
Yep.
Okay, you click on that.
When you say the logo, are you talking about in
Okay, there should be a little spot at the top of the page that says "Stream to your channel." Do you see that?
oh yeah, there it is. Stream this to your
Okay,
audience.
you click on that, and you go in there, and you just put a title in, and save it, and it goes to your channel.
So it says right now, log into your account or sign up free. So I guess if I'm not,
Yeah.
if I don't have an account, I create an account.
Yeah, if you don't have a StreamYard account, just get one. They're free.
Yeah.
I mean,
So then whenever so I didn't realize that. That looks easy. Just sign up for an account and then just hit that button and it'll log it
hit
in.
that button, and it goes to your own channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
mine's
good.
streaming to my channel now. So,
And if you're the host, then you can set it up to where others can do it. It's you have to click a button so that others can share stream to their
Dan,
channel.
do you get credit for everybody that follows on the other channels?
No,
Only the
No.
ones that are doing it
No.
through you?
only one's on mine. But that's
Yeah.
okay. I don't care.
Oh, I thought it was,
That's not
I
what
thought
I'm
it was
looking for.
a piggyback. I thought you got it for yours as well as for the other guys as well.
I don't think so.
no.
I think those that are on Max.
I think I'm not sure, but I think the host would probably get watch time for that because it all goes through your account.
Yeah.
When I read it, it
I
didn't
believe.
sound like. When I
don't
read
know.
The thing, it didn't sound like it.
And I don't know if you get watch time for live streams anyway. I don't know.
Well, you do. You do.
You do?
And then
Okay.
yeah, and then once it converts into a video, you get watch time for that. And so, every one of mine, I'll end up getting a lot more that watch after the show. They'll come in, especially friends overseas, so that because the time zones.
Oh
are so
yeah,
different.
because of the
I mean, I
time.
don't know what
time
it is where
change,
mine's
yeah.
at, but it's got to be probably 12 hours apart. So it's probably 5 in the morning there.
Okay, I must have a StreamYard account because I just went to log in and it sent me a code.
Okay. We'll see.
Give it a try.
That's what I love about this stuff. Well, you're gone, man.
Yeah, he'll be back.
There
He's
he is.
just trying to get
Back.
set up.
I'll put him back in here. There you go.
It
There
just,
he is.
as soon as I hit enter, it logged me out.
Huh. Yeah, you're not
Oh,
showing
okay.
up. Not showing up on mine because I see everybody on mine. I don't know, Max, if you see everybody that's streaming.
Yeah, I see everybody.
Okay.
So Max, when I hit stream this to your audience now, it comes up and says add a destination. What does that mean?
Okay.
Probably YouTube.
Oh, you should have your logo in there someplace.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, you have to log in your YouTube or plug in your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, once,
probably-
once
Give me
you
a whole
log
bunch
in,
of options.
you should see your logo or that stream to my channel, and you'd be able to click on that, and then you go in and just set it up in there. And it takes just a few minutes, or not even a few minutes, a couple of seconds actually. Because I had mine set up for this video with a thumbnail on my channel, but Dan didn't come in for 20 minutes, so I canceled that. And then when Dan came back in, I redid it.
Yeah. Poke me in the eye.
You messed up my perfect setup. It's all your fault, Colonel.
I surrender.
I only made sergeant, so I'm subordinate to you.
No. my bosses used to always get mad at me because you would always give your command briefing, for your whatever command that you were in charge of. When you had the senior officer come in, you had your briefing, and the first slide was always your organization. So you had this organizational chart, and you got the commander and command sergeant major and all your subordinate units and their stuff. I always flip mine upside down, so I'm down here at the bottom. In all features. And so the soldiers are very tough. And my bosses, every one of them, first time they'd see one of my briefings, they'd say, "Why do you do that?" I said, "Because they're the ones that are getting the job done. My job is just to make sure they got what they need to get the job done.
Absolutely.
I'm happy." So,
That made you a good commander.
well,
Toast to you.
thank you. I tried. I tried to make sure that they.
Well, if you're looking out for your guys, you were doing good.
We worked. Hey, Ken, you're on there, man. Now I see it. I see your little icon on mine.
Oh, you can see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So there it is. So now, do you have to do that each time, Ken, Max? Each time you sign on?
Yeah.
You just
Every time you come into a host's video to send it to yours, you have to click on that send to my channel.
Yeah. And if you're the host, you've got to set it up so other people can do that.
Right.
So you can keep them from it.
I've never been the host, and I don't have a paid channel anyway for StreamYard.
Yeah.
Mine's the freebie.
And that's good. That's good.
Yeah, no, that was I know how to do that. Set up now, so
Yeah. Very good.
now it says I went to my channel. It says one watching. I don't know if that means because I'm on there or is somebody else watching, but
Because
I don't know.
should be somebody watching on your channel, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how that works because I never have YouTube on when I'm on here.
No, I don't either because it kind of interferes with it.
It can
You can
set up
get
echo.
double sound, and it's weird.
what I found is if you do open it up in a sec, if you're watching it separately, because I do that to get the notes, to see what everybody else is saying.
Okay.
Because I'm not seeing them here on the live, but you got to turn the sound off on the other one.
Yeah, that makes sense. That way you don't get the echo. You don't get the
Right.
feedback. But yeah, I didn't know how that worked. That you didn't see the comments.
Yeah, I'm not seeing where I'm at right here, and I see you guys, and that's why I keep going back and forth. I keep looking to the side because I'm going to the other one, seeing what people are typing, and
Oh, okay.
I have to go off this main page, and there's a little bit of a lag between what we're doing here and what's going on that other screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
There is just a little bit. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why you get that echo.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You got to turn the sound off if you got YouTube running along with this. It just messes it up.
Well, I guess Tony he's still motivating up toward Washington State. So I don't know if he's in Minnesota, if he's in the Dakotas, where is that? Do you know, Max? Have you heard from Tony?
No, I don't know where he's presently at. No.
And well, we need to have Where's Tony? We need to make a book. Where's Tony? find his van, his motorhome along the way.
Yeah. Get him to wear a striped shirt.
Yeah.
Did you see his video on the?
Like, where's Waldo? Yeah.
Did you see his process on smoothing the rocks out?
Yeah, I did. I watched that.
That was
I'm
interesting.
fascinated with that.
Yeah, it's a long process. I didn't realize how long it took.
I
Yeah,
didn't
he's-
either. We were talking one day.
Couple-
I thought it was a couple of hours. He says, "Oh no, it's a couple of months."
Yeah.
He said
yeah.
it takes months to do it.
He
So-
pops him on that thing.
So-
7 days later, he takes him out, puts him through another round. 7 days later, takes him out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
time consuming.
yeah.
Well,
And-
it's not a lot of time for him. He puts a little effort into and money into getting that stuff and running, the different grains and stuff. But then you put it on the machine and leave it there for 7 days.
But when he's driving, that's why I want to ask Tony, when he's driving, does he have the machine running back in the motorhome? I'm assuming he does.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, if you own bouncy roads, it's
No, it may not stay on the tumbler.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's fascinating. I enjoy seeing that stuff a whole lot. And he had his little thing. He's cutting the rocks down and getting them to the right size. Just amazing. Is Sue gonna hang you for putting your methrin soaked clothes all over the place?
Not tonight, but tomorrow morning. Her and my daughter get up early and exercise out here. And so it's got a
You're a
strong
brave man.
smell. The smell in this room isn't too good right now because of that promethazine smell. So in the morning I might get in trouble.
Yeah. You can tell them you're trying to keep them from having any mosquitoes so they can exercise without any mosquitoes.
There you go.
It's for them.
Just in case ticks got in.
Yeah. You're doing it for them to protect them. Oh, my.
Actually, I mentioned to Sue I was bringing this stuff in and leaving it out overnight. And she said to my daughter, I'm going to use that for an excuse not to exercise in the morning.
Oh, my. Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So Dan, with your recent episode and you're still going on the hike, are you going to be able to get in any exercise or you're going to be cold turkey?
It's going to be pretty much cold turkey.
I'm the same. I hurt my knee over 2 months ago now, and I haven't been doing anything. I'm afraid to do it. I don't want to hurt it before I go hiking with Rerun and his dad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in great shape when we start.
Yeah.
Well, I got my mile power walk in today, so I guess I'm doing okay.
Good for you. They cleared me for a mile.
Yeah.
That I could walk a mile. But honestly, it does wind me. That's the biggest complaint I have right now is I just haven't gotten my energy back up.
Yeah.
What it was.
Have you been cleared to do more yet, or?
Well, they haven't told me.
So I was told you can go on short hikes now, but we prefer you take somebody with you. And I went,
Yeah.
But I don't have anybody to go with me.
Yeah.
And they says, well, it's your choice. Take a short hike by yourself, but if you have a problem, you're by yourself. But I don't know what somebody is going to do for me. What are they going to do? Drag me out of the forest?
Yeah.
So Dan, you haven't gotten your results then, or?
No, I'm really frustrated with them.
Yeah, I guess.
I called the cardiologist and talked to his admin person. She was actually pretty rude, and I was very underwhelmed. And she said, well, we don't release that information to patients. We release it to their primary care physician. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, do you have the results? Well, I don't know. I'd have to look at the computer. Well, would you look at the computer?
Well, look.
And I don't want to stress you out or inconvenience you, but it's my heart. I'd like to know. And so she looked at the computer. She says, yes, I have the results in front of me. I said, okay. Have you sent them to my primary care physician? Well, who is it? So I told her who the doctor was, and then she says, yes, you sent it. And she said that too quickly. And so I said, are you sure you sent it to my doctor? And she said, yes, we've sent it. I said, okay, I'll call my doctor and see if they can give it to me. So I call my doctor. I finally get her nurse. My doctor's took a new job. She's the hospitalist for the local hospital. So now she only's in the office for patients 3 days a month.
Oh,
So
boy.
I think I'm going to have to, I love my doctor, but I'm going to have to get a new one. This isn't working. So I talked to the nurse and she said, we didn't even know you were in the hospital.
Oh boy.
Oh
And I said,
my
well,
God.
they asked me if I wanted you guys to be notified. And I said, yes, I do. And I assumed you were notified. She said, damn, we weren't notified.
Wow.
Okay. I said, do you have the test results? She said, no, we don't have them. Could you call and get them and let me know? Because I said, I'm going on this hike. And unless you tell me that I'd better not go, I'm going on this hike. And so she said, we'll get back with you. Well, that was last Wednesday. And I haven't heard anything yet.
No, I haven't heard. Wow.
Oh my God.
I'm going to switch docs. There's a doctor over in the little town where my church is, and I'm going to go over there and start going to him. And,
In the meantime, though, it'd be nice before you go on the hike if they could clear you and say, yes, we're good.
well, yeah, I would really, the person that was doing the EKG while I was on the treadmill, she said, I'm not an MD, but I don't see anything bad here. I don't see anything wrong. You look like your heart looks strong. Okay, good. But they also took pictures of it. And that's what I'm really more interested in. Yeah, get excited about these things. But they took pictures, and I would like to know if I have any plaque buildup or any blockage. I'd just like to know.
Yeah.
They shot me full of radiation so they could take those pictures.
Yeah.
So,
I've had that done before. Yeah.
yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't like that at all.
Was it
You notice how you kind of get hot all over.
Yep.
That is weird.
It's a weird feeling. A weird feeling. They said if you're going to feel like you're wet in your pants.
It does.
And
It does.
It's really weird, Ken.
What is it? A dye?
It's a radiation that they
It's I like an isotope that they inject into your system,
yeah.
and you just start getting hot.
Is it your bloodstream?
It just travels up your
It goes in
body.
your bloodstream, and it travels through your body.
And so your whole body,
cool
wherever
thing
it
is-
goes, you feel warm.
Yeah, I mean the cool thing about it is for 2 weeks after, if you take frozen biscuits and put them under your armpits, you can cook them. It's microwave.
Yeah, how long ago was it?
I'm still cooking.
Well, if
It
you're
was-
still on the trail,
Yeah. See,
This
I
is the
need to
part-
do that again just before I go.
you won't need a stove.
Don't need the
The
stove.
thing you got to worry about is when you go to the bathroom in the dark, that your butt will glow.
Yeah, you sort of have this aura
It's like
about you. My wife
firefly.
told me I had this aura about me. I thought she's thinking that I was looking good. No, she referred back to the buzzard flying. Yeah. But it was an experience. But the good thing about it is that it sort of highlighted the flaws in the system. So now I can try to, okay, I'm going to change to this other doctor and let him,
Yeah.
because he's there all. In fact, this guy is so good. The first funeral I did after I started working with this church, the first funeral was an older gentleman, and this doctor would do house calls. This doctor still does house calls.
Wow.
So really, really nice guy. So I'm
Wow.
talk with him.
You know, that's what surprised me when you said that your primary doctor didn't get any information from the hospital at all. When I went to my primary doctor for follow-up after I was in the hospital, she had all the information. It was all there.
Yeah, that's
You know,
normal.
you would think they
She
would.
just brought it right up on her computer. Everything was there.
Because the systems that they use, when I was a chaplain, the system we had, it was called Epic, and you would chart the patient, but you could see everything that everybody else on the medical staff had done. All the doctors, all the nurses, all the meds that they have administered, all the tests that they've administered. You could see the results of it, and that was through North Carolina. Any medical office could pull it up if they had your name and your social security number and birth date. They'd pull it up. They could look at your files.
Yeah, and here's the part with mine. I was in the hospital, in the cardiac hospital. I had went to the ER here in Wyoming. They flew me to Montana, to Billings, Montana, for the cardiac hospital up there. And all the information came back to my primary doctor in Wyoming.
Yep.
Boom. Just like that.
Yep. Did you get frequent flyers miles for that?
No.
You don't want those, do you? Not that kind of flight.
No, not really.
Yeah.
It was a nice helicopter flight.
Yeah.
Although I've flown in those before, so
Yeah.
all of those were overseas. That was the first one I had in the United States was going to the hospital.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Had some that were fun and some that weren't so fun. So,
Yeah.
oh my.
Well, coming up for this, I'm going to change the subject a little. Coming up for the summer, so I got the hike coming up soon with me running his dad, and then the young guy that I took for a hike to get to know him down in North Carolina last year. We're going to do probably about a week up in the Adirondacks, maybe in August, possibly September, but likely August because he's got to start his college career. But so that's possibly in the burner coming up in the summer. In the meantime, my wife wants to do all the national parks. And so she's got maps out looking at all the parks. And so we could be going anywhere from Alaska, California, New Mexico. She's trying to group them all. We've done, there's 63 national parks. We've done 30 of them already together. We've each done some without the other, but together we've done 30. So we have 33 more to go, but the majority of those are out in California and Alaska. So she's got maps and planning, and we'll see where we end up. But probably sometime this summer we'll get out to a few of them. We just
coming back to Kansas at all, or
we may, if we drive, we possibly could come that way. We missed one in South Dakota. We did Badlands. There's another one. I can't think of the name of it that we missed.
that would be sort of a dip to come.
Yeah. We also have to get up to North Dakota to do the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. What's the one up in Wisconsin?
Black Hills? Was it Black Hills that's in South Dakota you didn't get to?
We did that, but that's not a national. It might
Oh,
be a
okay.
national monument.
Yeah, I think it's a
One
monument.
in Wisconsin, though, that's high on the list. It's really a kayaking or canoeing one where you basically all the sites are you have to go by boat to get to the campsites. So it would be actually a kayaking trip where we would, kayak out to a campsite, camp for a couple nights, and then go to the next site. And so that one sounds like fun. And Sue's up for
Yeah.
doing it, so that's good. As long as she doesn't have to carry a pack a long way, she's happy.
Well, she did great here.
Yeah.
The door's always open. You're always welcome. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that would be. I don't think that would be real convenient for you to swing down and up. But,
It's heading west, so who knows?
well, yeah, but from Connecticut, if you were coming from the Everglades,
Actually, for us, Dan, isn't it pretty much straight across to Kansas? Well, you're in southern Kansas.
maybe.
Might be
I
southwest.
tend to have my southern mind keeps me further south. Maybe it's wishful thinking. But
It might be a little bit south, but it's pretty much head west. And eventually, to get to South Dakota, North Dakota, we'd start heading farther north. I mean, it might be a better route to just do the northern route, but we'll have to look at what we have planned. And I would like to get back out there though and do the Elk River again.
would ya? Okay.
Yeah, that was fun. It's a small little trail, but I enjoyed it. That's a beautiful place.
It is. It is. I wish you could have seen it when the geese were coming in.
Yeah. Oh,
It
that
was-
was special.
It was amazing. I mean, it was just to watch them, just endless waves of geese coming in there. There were thousands of them.
Yeah.
And then the snow geese came in this year, and I've asked several of the locals, had they ever had snow geese before, and they couldn't remember ever seeing snow geese come here.
Wow.
But we had, I saw them twice coming in.
Yeah.
Two different times I was out on the trail, but that one night that they came in and they made a puddle of snow geese right in the midst of all those Canadians, and so it almost looked like a flower. It was really neat. It was really neat.
But Dan, you may
guys,
not
anything
do,
else?
you may
I've
not
got-
do
we got-
that stealth alliance, but boy, you sure do a lot of unique overnighters like tonight. You do some neat stuff.
Yeah, tonight's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm planning on doing some unique stuff. One is I've been studying night lapses, and I think what I've done wrong is I have too much time in between each picture, because the night lapse is just really a series of pictures, and then you stitch them together to make a movie. So every 24 pictures is 1 second.
Yeah.
So you take a lot of pictures, and I have the timer set, and usually I would have, like 5 seconds between shots, and I think you should only have like a second in between each shot.
Yeah.
But you have the shutter open for 10 seconds, to get all that light in. And I have a new lens that I'm going to use tonight. I'm really excited about that. And so I get real geeky with these cameras. So I've got this new lens. I'm going to use it. And just say thanks to Grateful Trekker here. He just subbed to you guys, I think.
Actually, I was gonna. Who was it you mentioned needed a few more subs?
Oh yeah, that was
I meant to go sub to him. DJ.
yeah, DJ.
I'll go sub to him before I close off.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to do a time lapse, trying that, and then I'm also going to do a panorama. So I'm going to take a series of 6 pictures, 3 down side by side, 3 up above side by side, and stitch all of that together so it's one great big picture. And I hope to get a lot more of the Milky Way.
Yeah.
out of that. That's my plan.
What is it you use? What software do you use when you take the individual pictures to piece it together?
I use a program called Affinity Photo. It's an editing software, sort of like Photoshop.
Okay.
I like it better.
Is that like a one-time purchase or is it a monthly fee?
No, see, like Photoshop and those are fee based. Affinity is a one-time purchase,
Yeah.
and I have it, and it's for, you can put it on pads or your computer.
Again, it's Affinity, it's called?
Affinity, AFFINITY, Affinity Photo,
Affinity
and
Photo.
it's version 2.
Yeah. Affinity, and that's just a program you put on your computer or phone. Is it kind of like what you're using to make your videos, or is this just to take pictures and
It just does pictures. And so what I do, I take pictures in what I call RAW, or what's called RAW,
yeah.
because they're like a negative, they're like a digital negative, and you can get a whole lot more out of it.
Yeah.
And so I bring that in, and then I and my brother just wrote in, said it's okay to be geeky and have a Southern mind. I'm just slow down enough to tune in. Okay, so yeah. My brother's a hoot, and we have such a good time together. James Paul is besides a brother, he's probably my very best friend that I have in the world. So I think so. We grew up together. He was 3 years older than I, and so we grew up together all the way through. But anyway, Affinity Photo, yes, you just, it only does photos. I bring in the RAW, and then I can pull out the colors, so you can really get a much better picture than just what comes in out the camera.
So you modify the photo, but it also puts it together into what looks like a video, right?
Yeah, it does all kinds. Well, yeah. Well, no, it won't do that. I'm sorry, it won't do that. It won't do the
Isn't that where
video
you're
part.
getting the time? You said you're taking all those photos and putting them together into
I
making
take all those photos, and then I bring them in for after I've edited them and pulled out, the colors so that they're developed.
right.
Then I bring it into Final Cut Pro, which is a video editing.
That's where you do all your editing.
That's where I do my video editing. Yes,
What's that one called, Dan?
that's called Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro, and is that's something you buy the software as well?
Yeah, when I bought this, I mean, it's an. I don't know if I think they also have a PC based version, but it's an Apple based version.
Yeah.
And when I bought my computer, then it had it already in it.
You bought
So,
a Mac.
Yeah, I got a Mac Mini. I don't know
Yeah.
if you ever seen a Mac Mini, but it's really small, but the thing is powerful. It's a little powerhouse, and so yeah, I use it, and yeah, DaVinci Resolve, Grateful uses it. It does it as well for editing video, but it does pretty good.
Yeah, I use my editor for time lapse, and it'll stitch them together, no problem.
Yep,
Stitch
it will.
all the pictures
Most of them
together.
will. Most of the video editors.
Yep.
I also use something called LumaFusion. I think I've talked about it before, and it's just on the pad, and I really like it.
Yeah.
I use it. I use both those programs because each one will do some things the other one won't do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it depends on how I want to edit that video as to where I'll pull it into.
Yeah, about the only thing my editor won't do is 4K, and that's only because it's a free editor.
Okay.
But
So your editor, Max, your editor will take the pictures for time lapse if you're doing it in a picture mode, and you can gather into the video.
it'll stitch them all together.
All right, that's something I haven't done and might want to try to experiment with. What's the one you use?
It's called it's free, online based, and it's called Shotcut.
Shotcut. All right,
Like
I'll have to check that out.
SHOTCUT.
Yep.
Shotcut. And
Yeah.
it's a free, online based video editor. It works great. I love it. I'm a
Great
cheapo
projector
anyway,
and
so
DaVinci Resolve will do 4K for free. It's a free program, or you can get the free version. I think the only difference is, I don't know if it puts a watermark on it or something like that. I don't know.
yeah, Shotcut doesn't have a watermark and it's free.
That's good. That's good.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, the thing, I don't know if what I use, you can have, excuse me, these speed ramps, you've seen these when they're in there and they're walking and all of a sudden they're at the next place that they're supposed to be on the trail. These will do all of those little tricks. The thing I like about Final Cut Pro is it has some call outs, you got some a little information box.
Yeah.
And you can put the dot on, like I'll put it on my my shoulder strap, and then you can fill out all the information, and so it's written what you're talking about. You can put labels on there, call outs, and then you can hit track, and it will go through that section of the video, and it will track it. So as you're walking and you're stepping up and down, it's following you, so that the call out box is following you along the way. And it does one of those little tricks. And
Yeah. Actually, the editor I use is it's far more advanced than its user.
so
That
I
way.
certainly,
It'll do a lot of things that I can't even figure out. So
Next. Shotcut is what you're talking about?
Shotcut, yep.
Yep. I'm still using basic. I use what comes with the iPhone. The iMovie. Yeah.
iMovie. Yep. And iMovie does good.
Yeah.
iMovie not
Well,
bad.
Shotcut is I don't know if it works on a phone, but it's PC based, so I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, but that would be good if I try to experiment with the time lapse, doing picture mode and taking a group of pictures and then use something like that to piece it together. Just to experiment with, if it's free, it'd be good to use something like that to experiment with it.
Yeah, it's free.
Right.
So
You can use your camera. I mean, on your GoPro, it'll do it for you. It'll do time lapses for you on the GoPro.
yeah.
You don't have to do that, but on a big camera, or it won't do
Yeah.
that. So you end up setting it up so that you can tell it how many seconds between each picture you want it to do.
Right.
And then
Yep.
like tonight, I'll have an external battery that I'll just plug into my camera so it won't die on me and
Right.
and let it
I
run.
do that with my
Take
Sony.
pictures.
So
Yeah. Well, mine's a Sony A6700, and it will
Yeah.
just run for 2 hours, and it'll take a picture. I'm going to set it up to take a picture every 11 seconds because the shutter will be open for 10 seconds. It'll turn off and then it'll start again a second later. And so each 11 seconds, it'll have a picture taken. And it'll do that for ever having the number of pictures I tell it to take.
yeah.
And then what I plan to do is do that as the Milky Way rises. And if you see it, the Milky Way will sort of stand up like that. You see it on the side and it stands up. And once it gets up, which is going to be about 2:30 this morning, then I'm going to turn the time lapse off and I'm going to do the panorama and take the 6 shots.
Yeah.
That looks. So I'm hoping.
You got more patience than I do.
It's exciting. I'm a nerd, I guess. It's exciting to
It's an adventure, Dan. You know, plus you're doing it middle of the night, and it makes it a fun adventure.
It is. It's fun to get out there, and you can hear owls, and I wish that's my next challenge is I want to start taking pictures of owls because I have never been able to do that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to take one of a bald eagle. I've got the bald eagle. I love getting the hawks. I love getting all the small birds. I just posted some on Facebook of a brown thrush they have. If you blow up that picture, it has this bright yellow eyes.
Yeah.
They're just eerie looking. So that was fun. Oh my. Well, guys, we have now gone well past the hour, even
Wow.
though I started late.
Yep.
You made up for that 20 minutes that you
I tried
flubbed.
to make it up to you, Max. I wanted to get you everything you had coming to you.
I was waiting for you.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad you did.
I almost shut it down, and I was starting to get up out of my chair to walk over to the camera to shut it off, and
And there,
sound came through my headphones, and I said, "Aha!"
he's there. You can thank Ken for that because I would have missed it. I think I would have been about right now. I'd have looked at my phone, my watch, and said, "Whoa, I missed the show." So thank you, Ken.
That's
me on
pretty
track.
bad when you're the host.
I know. I'm sorry. It just feels awful. It really does. I hate doing that stuff. I hate doing it.
Oh well,
All right.
you made
Well,
up for
thank
it.
you guys for joining me and for being on here. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
All
Stay on
right,
the path.
everybody, take care. Ken, see you later. Don,
God bless.
and
God bless y'all.
everybody.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
See y'all later.